What's up, guys? So what I have here in front of me today, I was actually debating, kind of going back and forth whether or not I should get it or not. And basically, I just needed one more Pumpkin Reaper, or just Reaper in general, for the display. And it was a tie between this or the Home Depot version. But I honestly, in the beginning, I didn't think that this, when I first saw the Walmart Halloween lineup pictures, I didn't think this was a good use of my money, or like anyone's money, really. This is like, just a copy and paste, pretty generic design. But in the end, the Home Depot Reaper pretty much, it knocks this one out of the park with the design. I love the Home Depot version's design better, but it just wouldn't look good in the display. So ultimately, I ended up, I tracked this down at a store about 30 minutes away, half an hour away from where I live, and because Walmarts are everywhere, so it actually, this was like 5 Walmarts away. I tracked it down. It's for a good price, $15, $16 less than the Home Depot version. It's 2 feet taller, and it has a kaleidoscope. And ultimately, what really made me decide to get this over the Pumpkin Reaper, over the Home Depot version, was from a close personal friend of mine on Instagram. Told me that, and he actually had proof that this guy has a 125, and that instantly for me was like, okay, yes, I'm getting this, because a 125 Tornado fan is like really rare in inflatables anymore. So I'm very excited that it has that. I'm intrigued to see this guy inflated, to say the least. So let's go ahead and get it unboxed. So I'm actually just going to do the unboxing like this, because I did want to show you guys the box design up close and personal instead of, just on a tripod, away from it. But this is actually very, very interesting that they went with this box design. This has been used for the, for the knockoffs, the Airflows ones for the past few years now. And this is also the Walmart Canada and Mexico boxes designs. So just take that in real quick, that this is actually in the US now, this new box design, versus just the standard airborne inflatable box design from last year and 2020, and I think 2019 too, and 2018. It's been a long time since they've had a variant of the box design. I think 2017 was the last one. But yeah, just taking a look at the box here. Pretty cool. That's another reason why I wanted to get this, is because, over the Home Depot version, is because they have tons of Home Actions holiday box designs, but never really had, this Halloween Celebrate box design before. So let's go ahead and get to the unboxing. It's a rectangle shape. It's not really a square like you would expect it to be, but it's one of those oddly shaped boxes that Jemmy has a bunch of in stores this year. And take out my knife. That was easy. Not like crappy tape. This is actually taped pretty cool. Where, I should say cool. I should say, it's taped good, versus what they usually do now, which is garbage tape. Let's see, what stake pack did this guy have? I'd be shocked if it's anything other than the usual. Here it is. Yep, just the usual. 4 stakes, so that tells you right out the bat that this does not have 3 tether attachments, which is unfortunate. I actually like those 3 tether attachments in the tripod design, because it holds it up actually better than the square, which it might be hard for you to believe, but if you have a giant Reaper with 3 tether attachments, that this actually does work better than the 4. But standard instructions, they're not doing different instructions like Target and Sam's Club that have their, and Home Depot that have their own box design. Sorry about that. The mic is like rubbing up against my shirt. But that's pretty much it. Nothing else is included other than the actual inflatable. So let's go ahead and get it out of the box. As you can see, this is very exciting. This is actually, I think, a 1-inch blade 125. Just looking at it, I don't think that this would be a 2-inch blade. This is definitely a 1-inch blade. But just looking at it, as you can tell, instantly right off the bat, if you guys don't know how to identify fans, how you know it's a tornado fan is if it has this disc specifically rather than, the one with all the circles on the inside, on the inside of it. But that's pretty much it. That's all to talk about the fan. I'm very shocked that this guy is a 125, which makes it all the more exciting to get it inflated. So let's go ahead and get it inflated. Okay, first impressions of this guy. It is sewn kind of crooked, and that seems to be the norm for Walmart this year. I mean, so many factory defects for Walmart. It's just unbelievable. Like some of them are sewn completely backwards, where like the top half is facing forward and the bottom half is completely spinned around. That happens with a lot of the cheap fans and other stuff, but thankfully I didn't get it that bad. This is fixable. You just unsew the center ring seam there and you just readjust it and resew it and it'll be fine. So that hopefully I can fix that in the future, but like, not too impressed by that. But I mean, also, it looks pretty big here on camera, but really, in real life, it is not that big. 12-footers are just not that big anymore. Ever since we started getting more colossals, like 20-footers, they just seem so small after that started becoming the norm. These 12-footers just seem so small, and then 10-footers, 8-footers feel so small. It's just so, unbelievable that something that back in the day used to be so tall is now so, kind of puny, compared to the 20-footers. But overall, it's okay. It's not the best Reaper. I already, it's pretty bland. It does not have many features. The smile's okay. Actually, a lot of people have some bad stuff to say about the smile. The smile's okay. I can deal with the smile. But I mean, it could be a lot better. 12 foot, I'd actually, if I look at this, I do not think 12 feet at all. At all. This is like more like 10 feet, honestly. This is definitely more like 10 feet. Like, I'm as tall as the center ring. And then the center ring is like 4 feet taller than me. So, absolutely do not feel like this is 6 feet taller than me. This is just, I wish Jemmy wouldn't be so scared to, branch out with the Reapers and go even taller. The last 16-foot Reaper we saw was in 2018. That says a lot, and ever since then they've just been making 10-footers now and 12-footers. So I wish hopefully in the future we'll get a lot taller ones like 18-footers, maybe even a 20-foot Pumpkin Reaper. I'm actually counting on that, fingers crossed, for next year. Come on at home, But as of now, not too impressed by, just its first impression. As you can see here, he leans back quite a bit. So, I mean, I wish he was more vertical rather than, arching backwards. But it'll do for now. Again, just circling back to those details, it really doesn't have anything. I mean, it has a kaleidoscope in the head, but I mean, other than that, no actual details. No, no creepy cloth. No, any details, no accents on the actual body of them. So, I mean, that's already a minus right there. But, I mean, that 125 does make up for it. So this is definitely an interesting shot that I've never really done before. But if you have just a standard yard, this is how people will see it from the road. That's how small this really is. I mean, just looking at it from back here, I mean, even in real life, this is very tiny. I mean, I'm only about, 50 feet away. So, I mean, it may feel like it's longer away, but it really isn't. That is very unfortunate that it deserves to be, it needs to be taller. It just needs to be taller. But instead, they decided to go with this, same generic 12-foot design, which I guess it's fine. We're used to 12-footers, but I mean, go bigger, At this point, I think 16 feet is a reasonable height, for something like this. So disappointing that they didn't go taller. Now that we've seen it during the day, let's go ahead and get the night view. So let's go ahead and rate them. So first category is design, and design, he gets like a 5 out of 10. Actually, scratch that, a 4 out of 10. Not only is it a remake, but it's a remake of, it's just a copy and paste, but with less features than the original one. So design, I'd have to go, I mean, I usually wouldn't classify, creepy cloth or anything like that as design. I classify that as quality, starting off with the basic fabric, just the fabric inflatable, just the prototype model, and taking that and adding all this stuff into it, projectors, kaleidoscopes, whatever, into it, that's really qualifies as quality. It could go either higher or lower. So actually for design, a 4 or a 5 out of 10 is reasonable. We've seen this again for the last decade, so I mean, it's nothing to really write home about. But as far as quality goes, 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10 is another reasonable, very reasonable rating. This does have a 125, which I'm astonished by, and I'm very grateful for, but still, it could be a lot better with the design, and they could have added all this stuff back into it, but I mean, whatever. And then that kaleidoscope in the head, at least they did do a kaleidoscope. I'm lucky for that, compared to last year's version. Actually, no, I think it was the 2020 version that, alongside the Grimace Reaper with a top hat, that one was just standard Pumpkin Reaper, was just really basic. And then the one from last year was the one that was really boring too. But I mean, thankfully, at least we're getting something a little bit higher quality, but it could be a lot better. And then the last category here is price. $85, not as cheap as it should be. It should be only 60 or back to like what it was. But you know what? 85, with all this inflation going on, it could be a lot higher. So, especially with that 125 and the kaleidoscope. So, I can't really complain too much. So, I'm actually going to give that price a 7 out of 10. So, it does pretty well. But overall, this guy gets a 6 out of 10. It's nowhere near the best Pumpkin Reaper or the best, Reaper just in general on the market. If I didn't need this for the display, like just to fit in, or just to make the area more extensive, I really wouldn't buy this. I wouldn't go out of my way to go, hunt this down or order it online. I don't even think you can order it online, because that's Walmart's stupid system. They just, not every Walmart gets everything in, but most superstores do, which is, I'm grateful for that. But I mean, if you don't need this for your display, I really wouldn't recommend going out of your way to go pick it up. So overall, 6 out of 10 is a reasonable rating. Well, there's my thoughts on this new for 2022 12-foot Phantasm Kaleidoscope Pumpkin Reaper being sold at Walmart this year for $85. Let me know what you guys think of this guy. Definitely pretty interesting, but again, it is kind of sewn wrong, and it does not have many details going for it, so, you take what you can get, but still a little bit disappointing and underwhelming. But I mean, that's my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think about it. Stay tuned for more reviews, updates, and displays coming soon to the Inflatable Bastard. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.